Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Brennan Bias from JustCheckIt.com and welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. Today what we're going over is another made from scratch conceptual tutorial. If you haven't seen the first tutorial that I did on something like this, maybe I'll put the link for you in the description. I made some logo for like Club V or something like that from scratch on the spot. And that's what I'm going to be doing once again here for you today because you guys seem to like it, so let's give it another try and just see how it goes. Now, the image we're using today is an image that somebody had posted on our fan creations page, which, if you haven't gone there already, you should because it's pretty sweet. Got some very talented people there. And the image that was posted was this sucker right here. And overall, it looks pretty simple. It's just the EA logo with like a ring around it and stuff. But it turns out that when you look a little bit closer, that some of the little details are actually a little bit more like complicated to achieve than one would think. There's like lots of little glints and just there's just a lot to the overall detail going on here. So I'm going to see if I can make this, or at least do my best trying, and let's just see how it goes. Alright, so let's open up this sucker in Photoshop. We're open with, there we go, Photoshop. Voila. Okie dokie, so, this is actually a good resolution, it seems. 1920 by 1080. Wow, it's an actual 1080p document. Impressive. Well, I don't want to make like the exact same thing. I want to change up a little. Ooh, wait a second. I just remembered that I've got some additional presets in here. I added in 2K and 4K resolutions for Academy settings and digital cinema. So let's do a 4K digital cinema, which is 4096 by 2160. This will be very, very interesting. So let's set up our BG here, and I could go and find the EA logo somewhere online and just use that, but what's the fun in that? Let's grab our pen tool, let's set the fill to white. At least I'm pretty sure that's white. There we go. And let's just make a quick little outline here. So let's go right around there. Go right there. And let's just make ourselves a quick EA logo. And let's turn down the fill so we can actually see what's going on. There we go. And I'm not going to be absolutely perfect about this because I mean, who really cares? This is basically for me. Whoops, didn't mean to hold shift on that. Yeah, I mean, if this is just for fun, then why be all anal about, you know, all the little details and stuff? I mean, it'll look good enough from a distance, so won't have to worry about it all that much. Okie dokie. So, making good progress here. And while I'm doing this, maybe I should just make things a little interesting somehow. Maybe I'll ask you guys some like questions, get your ideas on things. Like, well, for one thing, Eli's internet seems to be working a little bit better. So hopefully we can start making more Minecraft videos. If you guys have any ideas for what you want us to do with the Minecraft videos, that'd be great. Cause We've got ideas in terms of whether we want to do Tekkit or vanilla Minecraft were the two main requests from people, but no one really decided on anything, you know, surefire. And so I want your guys' opinion on what we should do for those. Like, should we? Why did this become a separate? Whatever, won't matter. Do you guys want us to do vanilla Minecraft, or do you want us to do Tekkit? One of the two, because we don't want to do like another like weird survival map of any sort, because that's just gonna be, I don't know. We want to just go back to the roots, I guess, and get away from the whole, you know, playing a map that somebody else made for a little bit. But that's not set in stone, so give me your ideas on what you want to do with that, and we'll just we'll go from there. Okay, so back to all of this. And once again, put down the fill so we can see what we're doing. And make this ring around it. So almost there, right around there should be nice and pretty. Alright. So let's turn all these back on. And put these suckers in a group. EA logo. Just so it's easier to manage, I guess. And we'll drag this into our new document here. Holy jeez, that's way smaller. That's exactly why I made the vector. So we can scale it up as we please. Let's see, what looks good? Something right around there is actually pretty nice. I like it. Okay. Where should we start with this? Okay, let's get rid of the rulers. That's control semicolon, in case you're wondering. Let's see. So we got a bevel. I wonder what kind of bevel that is. It's got some harsh edges going on here. Maybe we'll start off with a gradient. It looks like this entire thing has a gradient going on. And so, so maybe I should make that inner ring into one circle and then have another ring out here for a different gradient going on. That might be a smarter thing to do, or maybe not. We got some weird curvature going on over here. Ooh, decisions. I guess I'll start off with just the EA by itself. So let's see, so it's a dark gray to looks like basically white. Yeah, it's practically, yeah, it's white. Cool. So let's so that and that. Let's see if I can just take that and do a copy and then go back in here and paste it in. Very good. So it looks like it's in place. Awesome. So trash that. This is EA. And let's get rid of that group. And we'll keep that as the ellipse for the time being. This is going to be a little hard to distinguish if the background's still black. Maybe I should do that first. Well, let's just see what's going on here. So gradient overlay. And let's just put that at 45 degrees. Oh, maybe not that. So let's see if that's 90, so 135 looks about a little bit better. Okay, so let's go to all. Oop. Cancel, move this out of the way. And let's mess with this color so it's a little easier to see. Much better. Okie dokie. Now let's do a bevel and emboss. And let's change this to chisel hard because I think that'll yield a better result. And we'll put up the depth and we'll increase the size a little bit. And let's go ahead and turn off the global light and see if we can just put this a little bit closer. Or something of the sort. It's not quite the same bevel that I want. But it's a good start. So we'll keep that as it is for the time being. For all I know, this was probably made in something other than Photoshop for the logo itself. So I might not even be able to recreate that perfectly. Unless I did, oh, that would be a pain. Ooh. Okay, I'll put that off, that thought that I just had off to the side. Let's make the background real quick. So we got a nice curve up and then looks like it goes slightly down and then back up again. Let's see what we can do for that. So let's make just the background itself. Let's go give it a color overlay. And let's make it a nice orange. I'm going to try not to just copy and paste the color over because I do want to make this simply by myself for the time being, although I do kind of want to get a more golden color that I'm seeing there. So let's go back, give it a little bit more yellow. Ooh, maybe not that much. Maybe make it a little lighter. A little more yellow. This is getting a little tough. Let's see. That's getting pretty close. Okay. We'll call that good enough for the time being. Let's go back to the pen tool. Make sure we're on the shape. Let's not do white. Let's do a deeper orange for the time being. And we'll just go back and tweak that as we need. So, okay, so it started up, going down. So let's start our first anchor over here. And then do something like that. And then go all the way up here. Nice big curve. Make it a little more gentle. And then we'll go over here and have another curve, and then just complete it around the edges. All right. So looking a little funky. Let's change this up. All right, hey, that's actually pretty good. Wow. Okay, so obviously I failed on that color. Holy jeez. Well, hold on a sec. So we've got this gradient, but it looks like it's a little brighter right here and then kind of fades off to the edge a little bit. So, ooh, maybe I'll start off with this, like this brownish gold color. Boy, this is going to be a little tough, just kind of making it from sight. Ah, screw it. I'll just freaking grab the color. I don't have time for this crap. Time is of the essence. So let's grab that color, and then I'll sample this color as well for later on. Oops, I keep clicking somewhere. Okay. And so fill, let's grab that color. Is that really how that compares? Wow, oh, that's right, because, okay. So that is the color we'll be fading to. Now let's go add a gradient overlay on top of that. Let's grab that color like so. But we'll set that to, let's make that, oops, not angle, radial, thank you. And reverse that. Let's move it up here. And change the angle. Let's move it over that direction. And then make it a little softer maybe. Okay. Move it even more further up. Spread it out a little bit. And let's see what we can do in terms of like blend modes maybe. So let's see if we can, what happens if we do, oh geez, that is not what I was hoping to see. Okay, not doing that. How about soft light? Because I want this all to blend a little bit better. Overlay is not bad. I kind of like that, but then it's starting to blend over here. So maybe if I go back to this original color, lighten it up a little bit, and over there, let's take a look. Not too bad. Let's do this real quick. Let's make another new layer. Let's make sure we name this. Let's call that arc, and we will name this we'll just keep that layer 1 for now because I can't think of a good name for it. And because I noticed that there is a bit of like some sort of color coming off from this, like a radial gradient of some sort. So let's sample that, and then grab our gradient tool, and let's just do something like that. Okay, maybe a little more this direction, see what's going on. Okay, I can dig it. I like that. Now let's also add a drop shadow. There we go. When they changed everything up in CS6, it just confused me. I don't really like it too much. And set that to soft light. And we can come back to that as we so choose. Soften that up a lot. Okay, maybe a little less. This is all starting to blend over here, but I kind of like it. It's a little different than what I was expecting. Okay, so we got a nice soft little gradient going on. Let's see what else we have. So we have some noise. We have lots and lots of noise. So let's add that in. Let's turn that off, turn that off. Let's do a Control-Shift. Wait, no, we don't need to do that. No. Let's make a new black layer for the noise. Oop. I've got this mic in the way, so it's kind of hard to see what I'm typing. I have to like lean over the mic to see what I'm doing. And we'll call that the gradient. Okay. So filter, noise, add noise. And let's turn that up a little bit, make it monochromatic. And let's add some Gaussian distribution on that. Actually, no, let's keep it pretty uniform. And let's brighten that up. And let's just hit OK, see how that's looking. Let's do 100%. Holy jeez. And set this to color dodge. Oh my goodness. Craziness going on here. Let's tone this down. Okay. Let's take a close look. What's going on here? Wow, that looks pretty good. Not bad at all. Let's compare it real quick to this. This one seems to be a little more mellow in terms of color intensity. I wonder how we can do that without going back and tweaking all the colors. Although I do kind of like it. Let's just see what happens. Let's add in a layer of 50% gray. Then change the fill to like 2%. Maybe we'll increase that even more. Seems to gray it out a little bit. Let's go back down to like 6%. So that kind of mellows out the color a little bit, but I don't really like how that looks. I wonder if I can change that to like multiply and then just use that to mellow it out some. Okay, that's not bad. And I've got like freaking dog hair on my pop filter and it's bugging me. There we go. I don't even know how that got there. Okay. So, let's see. So now we've got this gray for mellowing out the colors. We've got the noise. We've got this gradient and all that. Looks like the overall effect is turning out pretty nice. It's a little different, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. I could probably move that gradient a little further up now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go back to the gradients and move a gradient a little further up and scale it up some. Hit OK. Do it before and after. It's a lot more mellow. Lots more mellow. And then the noise, and let's see what the gray does to it. Okay, I'm not liking the gray anymore after I changed up this color, so we'll just trash it. Call it good. Awesome. So now back to the logo because most everything else seems to be in order in terms of the background over here. So let's see, where do I even begin? Because the EA logo itself has all of these like harsh like edges and corners that I don't really, I'm not entirely sure how I can achieve with just the ordinary bevel and emboss, because let's zoom into 100% here to get a good look and go back to the EA and let's start messing with the bevel and see if we can hopefully get something that's remotely close to that, because from what I understand, it's just not how it works with this, because I can change the direction and all that, but I can't really simulate those harsh edges and stuff. So I can either that looked kind of interesting. Huh. Anyway, so one option that I could do is I could leave the text, so I could have this inner part just as the regular text, and then maybe I could do a like a stroke with a gradient on it. But it looks like it's got some like randomness here and there. That's freaking how am I gonna do this? That's like I could swear that this was exported as something other than Photoshop, because that's not an ordinary bevel. But maybe I could work with that. Let's go back real quick, and looks like they have a bit of a glow going on. That's kind of cool. So first things first, let's, instead of going back and forth, let's bring this actually in here real quick, and then I'll like throw this off to the side underneath, just so I can look at it while I'm designing. I'm gonna try and do some kind of stroke real quick, just for the sake of just seeing if I can get a good idea of how to do this. I can fix up the spacing and all that later. Whew. Okay, so let's do a gradient, and we'll have it angular, and we'll size up the stroke. And oh wait, no, not angular. We want, oh wait, yeah, it is angle that I want, isn't it? Okay, let's start off at the top here. Oh, that goes through the entire thing. Okay. That's because the diamond wouldn't work. Shape burst. That's interesting. Wonder if I could combine that with my idea. Except that's being a pain in the booty, because what I want to be able to do is have this, if I were to keep that as a separate layer, maybe that would make it a little bit better. So let's take that out, bring it over here, bring that down, and whoops. I did not mean to put it there. Okay. Okay, so apparently doing that is not doing me any good. So let's put it back. There we go. I want to freaking put this in. Let's see, let's make a new freaking dealio and then paste that in. There we go. Now I can just delete that. Go back to EA, delete that. There we go. That is its own separate thing now. Although I probably didn't need to delete that, so I'll just keep that there for the time being. Because I want to see if I can add this stroke in and size it up. And I want to, so do the gradient, do the angle to it. Okay, that's looking like it'll work a lot better. And I hit OK so I can zoom out and look over. Okay, stroke. Get back here. This is going to take a lot of experimenting. So let's start off with, let's change the angle so that's more suiting with everything. Get it to that corner right there. Let's change that to 10 degrees. Ooh, almost there. 9. Good enough. Good enough. So let's do white. So we'll start off with the white. And we'll have that change to gray. And I'll put that nice and close. Which apparently isn't all that close according to these standards. Jeez. Let's see if I can do this. Let's take that location and put it to like, let's put it to 90%. and then squeeze in that little sucker. Oh, there we go. Much better. Okie dokie. But maybe not so close on that thing. Let's do more like 75%. Now let's squeeze that in. And there we go. Beautiful. Now all we have to do, so let's move that black over and we'll make a white right there. And we'll also put that to 75%. And let's do this. Oh, whoops. That needs to be 25%. 25, there we go. And looks like that's more of a lighter gray. We'll do that. We'll put that a little closer. And let's just see what we can get here. I think I need to put these in a little bit closer so that I get that harsher edge that I'm seeing. There we go. So now what? Let's add in another point, make it slightly darker shade, and then another color and make that white again. And let's put that at the appropriate edge. There we go. And let's move that closer to 25%. Move this shade of black over. And I need to move this a little closer to the edge, I think. Okay, getting closer. Much, much closer. Oh, geez, over the edge. Slowly tweaking. Okay, and shoot, now let's add in that same color on this side. Once again, we'll move this to maybe 80% instead. This isn't looking anywhere near as nice as theirs. Maybe I should just try and extrude it and save myself some trouble, huh? Because this... I'm trying too hard. That is the issue here. I'm trying way too hard. So let's put this back on there. Let's trash that. And let's just freaking trash that idea entirely and just extrude the freaking thing and see what happens. Okay. So 3D, let's do 3D extrusion. Yes. Save myself some embarrassment here. This is just sad. Okay. So looking all right. Now, so the front inflation material, I should be able to... did I take off the... Hold on, go back. Let's add that gradient overlay to it real quick. Oh, no. So I'm going to duplicate that so I have a copy. Oops. Okay. I want both of these. Stupid Photoshop, let me duplicate both of them. There we go. Much better. Now, let's add the gradient overlay to this. Why did I get rid of it? What? Stupid me. Okay. So, time to no longer make a fool of myself. So it looks like that needs to be a much darker shade. I don't even know if this will even show up. I really haven't messed with the 3D options enough to know exactly what I'm doing when it comes to extruding 3D-ness. So let's just extrude that, and let's see if it'll keep that overall that gradient that I have. Sweet, and actually, not bad at all. So since I do want to have a little bit of a drop shadow, so let's do this. Let's EA copy. Let's rotate you over yonder. And I wish I could just type in a value or something of the sort. I really don't know how. Okay, let's do this then. Let's do 60 degrees. And then go back. and do another 30. Because as far as I know, there's really no way to, whatchamacallit, to type in the value of rotation as far as I know. There might be a way to, let's see, coordinates. Oh, right there. X rotation angle, 90 degrees. Herpaderp. Well, I guess it's good to know in the future, huh? All right, let's turn down this extrusion, because I do like the extrusion, but I don't want too much of that. And let's snap the object to the ground plane. But then we'll pop it up just a little bit. Beautiful. And let's grab our secondary view over here. All right. And let's make sure that the current view is set to perspective. And now we need to zoom out. Go on, keep it going. If I do it off to the side, oh, it does do that. So I think holding shift, there we go. So holding shift keeps that where it should be. There we go. And it looks like everything is still nice and center. Now let's just change up the infinite light and let's rotate that. Come on, infinite light, come back here. And point that, let's do down and to the right. Come on, go more up, more up. Whoa, not that much. Why is this being so laggy? It hasn't, oh, that's pretty good. Okay. And so let's go to the cap and let's increase the width of that cap there. And of course it's taking forever for some reason. My computer's been awfully slow lately, and it's been bugging me a lot. There we go. That's much better looking. Much better. Well then, let's see what we can do about some of this stuff here. So the ambient, let's see what happens when we change that to a slightly orange color. It's kind of hard to tell, ain't it? Okay, and oh, that's because that's for the front inflation material. Let's do front bevel material. There we go. And let's do that dark orange color again, because I'm pretty sure that should be affecting the shadows of the bevel there. Again, it's still pretty hard to tell, and it's a little laggy, so I can't really do a whole lot about it. Okay, then. Well, I'm going to hit render real quick just to see what this is looking like in terms of render and all that. Wow, this is extremely slow. What is going on here? So, Control H to hide everything that's going on here. So not quite exactly what I want in the time being, but we're well on our way. So let's see if we can mess with some of this. So the front bevel material, let's amp up the shine a little bit. This is extremely slow. What the heck is going on here? Okay, this is let's see here. So let's go back. Let's do a spotlight, because I like my spotlights. La-di-da. Reminds me of Eli's little sing song that he does every once in a while. And I can't, oh, that's right. Control H to bring this all back. Much better. And let's move this up over here. And let's get back some of those highlights. Whoa. Go back. I have no idea why that just moved everything. And go back. And let's turn off the infinite light real quick, just to see what we can get here. Oh, well, would you look at that? Okay then. Let's do this then, since that seems to be doing a bit better of a job of what I want to do. Let's turn up the cone, not too much, obviously. And we're starting to get a much better feel. And once again, let's go back to that front bevel material. Let's put up the shine a lot. And the diffuse, let's see. I'm gonna have to mess with these settings. Let's see, what does the specular do? Doesn't really seem to do anything. What the heck? Okay then. Alright, how about the diffuse then? The diffuse should do something. No? I think I'm getting a little bit of red on the edges here. That's a start. Okay, let's render this out. And let's see what we can get going on over here. Alright, so after letting this render for a little bit, I can see some of the, I think that's the ambient that I can see showing up there, so maybe I can make that a little bit more golden. It's maybe a little too light. And make that a little more orange, I guess. Hit OK. Why is this taking forever? Holy jeez. And then I do see a little bit of red going on with that diffuse, so instead let's make that like a near white, almost white, not quite white. So that looks like the edges that are being affected there. Now, what can I do to the cap? Let's go back to that. Let's go to the cap. And what can I do with this? What happens when I change up the strength? Whoa! That's not what I was expecting. It like suddenly made it all like round. Shoot. So let's tone that down. Oh, it really softens that up. That's pretty cool. Huh. I actually like that. Well, shoot. Huh. I'm supposed to be recreating this effect, but instead I'm just like making my own. But in all reality, I don't really care too much. I like what's going on here. But, oops. Undo that move I accidentally did. I shouldn't do that too much in terms of how much that softens. So maybe like just 2% is looking good. And let's mess with the contour. Let's add slight different contour. Ooh, that's a little crazy there. That's pretty interesting. Let's do a little bit different. Start messing with these and see what kind of results we can get. Of course, this one's still loading, so I can't exactly see what's going on. There we go. Huh. So that's a little more gentle. I think I should keep it on the straight angle, the linear one, because that's exactly what you see going on over here. But I'm having troubles deciding on how to recreate some of the highlights that I'm seeing there without just going in and hand putting those in, because it looks like I could just literally go in and just add in like little bars of white on the edge wherever I need it. But that's not very fun. That's it's kind of tedious too. But I don't know. Maybe we'll just keep messing with the bevel. Let's I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm just gonna start messing with all kinds of different things. So let's change up some of the ambience on the front here to add a little more orange and gold to it all. And let's see, the extrusion material you don't really see, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much at all. And man, that bevel's really getting to me. Let's see. Cast shadows, deform, cap, coordinates. There's got to be something I can do with the front bevel material here to make it a little bit better. What happens when I change the illumination? What happens if I put that back up? Oh, that literally illuminates it. Well, shoot. Let's see what we can do here. Let's make it a little gray. Maybe add in a little few things here and there. I really don't want to add it to the entire thing. I just want to have a little bit here and there, but it looks like it's going to be a little hard to accomplish here. So let's go back to illumination, and let's just start putting this back down. See, this kind of sucks because it has that nice gradient transition, and the only way I can think to do that is by adding in a light over there. So I think that's what I might have to do. So let's grab that infinite light again, and that brightens it up immensely. Let's turn off the cast shadow, and let's hit Control H to bring back this little mode here, and let's rotate it off to the side like so. And come on, rotate a little bit more. You know you want to. A little bit more. Okay, so now that looks like it's basically straight on at an angle, and I can see it hitting this edge over here, but not that one. So I wonder if it would be possible for me to rotate it a little more down. Have this part aimed more that way, but I really don't know how to do that without. So there we go. So a little more that way, a little bit more down. If my computer wasn't lagging so bad, this would be going way smoother. So I apologize in advance for that, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, seriously, what the heck's going on here? Normally my computer just beasts on through this. Okay, so that's illuminating all that crap. And bring this back up. Okay, so I see what I was doing wrong. I just had it way too far over. And let's put it over that way. Just all these small tweaks, small tweaks until something works. I swear this shouldn't be happening because I've got a good graphics card and all that. Got the it's a Nvidia EVGA 570 with 2 gigs in it, something like that. And so this is just preposterous. What's going on here? What the just happened here? Like the light just suddenly turned all the way down or something. Oh my gosh. You know what? Screw this freaking infinite lights. Go away. I hate you. You're causing me issues here. So delete that. Let's do another new spotlight. Okay, and so let's move it over here. No, not the overall document. Stupid. Undo that. Spotlight only. Move it over here. Much better. And I don't know why it's complaining at me. Okay, so let's grab this tool right here. Let's move it forward. Oh, I know why it's... I'm an idiot. I know why it's giving me so many issues with the whole 3D. It's because I'm running this at 4K. Wow, that... If I knew I was gonna be freaking working with 3D and stuff, I would have planned a little further ahead. So I guess let that be a lesson to anyone watching this this tutorial, if I could even call it that anymore. And let's just I don't know, I guess we'll just keep trucking because I'm this far in it already. I might as well keep going. Oh, well, isn't that interesting? Let's turn off the cast shadow real quick. And I wanna let's render this out. So Control H to get rid of all this stuff. And let's render it out. Give it a couple minutes, and I will be back shortly. Okay, so let's go ahead and interrupt this and see how it's looking. Well, I certainly like what I'm seeing here. I mean, again, it's not the same as the original, but the point of the matter is that I like how it's looking, but I do think that the A should be a little bit darker. So let's go back to Spotlight 1 and Control H to bring back all this goodness. Let's start tweaking this. So let's put the cone angle down. Although now I'm starting to lose that shadow. Well, that's tough. Maybe all I can do, maybe if I tone down the intensity a little bit, maybe that will work a little bit more to my favor. And let's also put down the hotspot cone a little bit. And then it'll let me zoom in. Okay, so now I'm losing some of that effect that I had going on. So let's widen that back up. And then, you know what, if I just want to go back in and post and increase the contrasting on that, I think I could just do that. So we'll call that good. And let's make the shadow softness up a little bit further. You know, let's just pretty much max it out. All right. And have some Facebook messages going on my phone, but who cares? Okay, and let's see. So that's still doing just fine. If I turn that off, I'm assuming that'll get rid of that part. Okay. So that looks good and all without that second spotlight, but I really like this effect that I have going on here. So I'm actually going to keep that in. And, well, I guess let's go ahead and bring in that other ring that we see going on. So let's go to the layers, and we'll finally get back to that original ellipse. And new 3D, oops, not from file, new 3D from selected layer, there we go. And there we go. Obviously, that extrusion is just horrendous. Let's trim that up a lot, much better. And let's let's go back to the layers, and let's select both of these and merge them together. Except I forget which scene merges into what, so I might have to do, yeah, so Control Z and put the ellipse above the EA copy and then merge those together, and we should get something a little bit better. There we go. So let's go ahead and grab that ellipse. Let's move her on down. And let's also let's snap that to ground plane. Wow, working with this at 4K resolution is freaking tough. Very, very tough on your computer. I guess just needed to think ahead a little bit better. So, since I want to keep the overall theme, I'm not going to try and go crazy, complicated with that original ring. And instead, let's just try and do the same overall concept with the styles and such here. So let's go back to here. Let's see how much extrusion that has. I really don't care about that. Let's just go to the cap. So it's 17%. So let's try that on here as well. So let's do 17%. Hopefully it looks roughly similar. And of course the computer is lagging still. And let's zoom in, see what's going on. Can't really see anything going on when I zoom in there apparently. Looks like I need a little bit more extrusion, so let's go back to the cap. Let's, wow, that's actually a little bit more extrusion than I planned on adding. So, let's amp that up to 30% instead, see what happens. Okie dokie. So that's looking all right, and I could go through and mess with the ambience and all that if I so choose, but I'm just gonna try and cut some time out and not worry about that. So let's go back to our original workspace here, and let's turn that sucker off. Oh, I probably should should probably render this out. So go back to that, and I guess I don't have that little render option here. So let's go back to the 3D menu, and go to 3D. Oh, there we go. Render it out. Okay, because I do need to see what this looks like so I know what to do with it later on. So I'm going to let this render out for a while, I guess. I don't have a specific time frame because this could take a long time. It could take a short time. We'll just see how it goes, and I will be back in a little while when it's hopefully done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and interrupt this for two reasons. One is timing, and two, the only thing left for it to do really is to finish softening up the shadow there. And it's a little pixelated looking. It's got a little noise going on. But seeing as we've got some noise in the background, I figure that's fine anyway, so really no big deal. Not going to worry about it. And I've got this white rectangle around here. I wonder what that's all about. Huh. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is mess with some of the contrasting on the layer. So let's add a curves adjustment layer. Let's clip it to that, and let's darken up some of these darker points, and then maybe lighten up some others, or just make it so that they don't darken up quite too much. Maybe bring some of that back, bring some of those back up, and let's take a look. Ooh, would you look at that? Heck yeah. Quite pretty, actually. Not bad. We got a little bit of a sparkle kind of going on here too. That's kind of cool. All right, so let's step back, take a look. Let's grab the original to see how that's looking. Overall, it's a little bit darker looking, and I guess if I wanted to, I could add another curves adjustment layer and just kind of just darken the mood a little bit. That seems to do the trick, but we need to put this layer at the very top. So it seems like I did that a little bit too much. So maybe I can tone down the opacity on that until it looks a little bit better there. So maybe a little closer to around there. So let's see. Maybe there's something else that I can add to this to make it a little bit more interesting. Ooh, excuse me. So I guess one thing that I did have in mind, let's do a new gradient, and let's just call this let's call it spotlights, and we'll set that to soft lights. We'll keep it at 100% opacity for the time being, and let's set that to black to white, and we'll set that to radial, and we'll reverse it, and maybe we should tone down that opacity there and change the angle to like 30, and then let's make the scale a little bit larger. Hit OK. And let's just kind of see how that looks. Maybe not entirely what I was hoping it would look like. Let's bring back some of the darker shades of black over here. Okay, so before, after, it's very subtle at the moment. I could tone it up just a little bit more. So let's just see how that looks. Okay, so it's very subtle, but I do like how it looks. So I guess we'll call that good there. And I wonder what else we can add to this, because I still want to make this my own. So, and one way I like to do that is is with Magic Bullet, because Magic Bullet has so many styles in it. You're just bound to find something. So, ooh, star filter tight, pink spot. Whoa, focus left, swing tilt. If we were to move that into more of the upper center, maybe. And can I adjust, let's see, blur size? Oh, okay, that's what that is. I really want to, where is the rest of it all? I want to make it like longer. I wonder if I can even do that. Maybe that's not the thing for me. Let's go back to that star filter, because that was kind of cool. And let's mess with the size of that. We'll tone that down a little bit. Oh, maybe we just need to boost the threshold. So more threshold. Oh, I see, that's why. There's just so much white in it that it's just being applied to like everything. Well, we could fix that though. Let's cancel that out. Let's duplicate it again. Yeah, come on, let me duplicate it. What's going on here? Oh geez, everything's lagging. And let's come on, stop lagging. Let's just take like a small chunk of this, like right around there. I probably could have just duplicated that. There we go. And let's try and add in that style again. And let's do the star filter and put up the threshold. Oh, I probably should have put black on the background, huh? That probably would have helped. Okay, let's try this again. So let's, whoops. I keep forgetting that this is lagging, so it's a little weird. So black, combine, and go back, filter, and I wonder if I'll be able to blend this all right, setting it to screen or something. Star filter, put up the threshold, like that. Now it's getting a little red. Okay, that's kind of cool. Now let's see if we can just take that and set that to screen. Hopefully it looks okay. I really don't know what to expect, so let's set that to screen. I was worried about that. There's that little bit right there that looks a little awkward. So undo. Let's take that portion, set that to black. There's probably a much easier way of doing this, but this is just the quickest way that I can think of off the top of my head, so don't judge. So, black for all that, filter, Magic Bullet, photo looks. Holy jeez, this is taking forever. Looking pretty good. Hit OK. Go back. After it finishes, of course. Set that to screen. And let's do a Control L on that. Let's try and bring in some of those lights there. And I'm just going to tweak with this just to see what I can get going. Huh. It's kind of cool. I probably could have just used a lens flare for that, but whatever. That's what's the fun in using lens flares all the time. Of course, I use photo looks all the time for these things now, so I guess I really can't talk. Let's see. We don't want horror. Maybe music video would be a good style to go for. Berlin, Big Country, Crush Blue Edge, Foolish Alternative, Nighttime. Huh. Whoa. That's intense. Let's see, what happens if we take off the contrast? There's just so much going on here, I don't know what's what. So the vignette is good, I like the vignette. Diffusion, the diffusion's what's making it so bright, jeez. Maybe if we turn down the glow, it'll look a little bit better. Wow. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. I could probably just mess with that a little bit more, but who cares? I don't even know how long I've been recording for. This is probably even longer than the original. Shoot. Oh, geez. Hopefully you guys actually like how this all goes, because I really don't know what to expect from all this. Let's do a soft light. Maybe a hue? No. Let's see what... Whoa, that's it. Look at that. That's actually pretty cool. I don't want to use that, though. It's a little bit crazy. Ooh, what's that? Pin lights? Ooh. Let's make the opacity pretty low here. I wonder if I can let's mess with the curves here, clip that. Let's bring in the high ends and then bring down the lows. And then we can turn down the opacity, and then so that way we get a little bit of the, oops, get back here. So that way we get a little bit of the streaks that are going left and right, just very, very subtle, but we still are getting a little bit more interesting of an effect going on. And one thing that I always enjoy doing, so let's do a Control-Alt-Shift-E over here to merge that all together. Let's do filter, blur, Gaussian blur. And let's blur that quite a bit, actually. Let's make it very blurry. Okay, maybe not too blurry. Okay, so something like that. Let's hit OK and do a Control-Shift-U to desaturate it. And then let's do a soft light. And look at that. And maybe we'll tone it down just a touch. There we go. I just love the softness that applies. I mean, it's subtle, but I notice it, and it's, I don't know, just something that I like. Okay, well then, I'm pretty much out of ideas of what to do with this. So, I guess that's all there is to this. I mean, shoot, this wasn't really a recreation of the original in anyway. Oh, shoot, I forgot the light rings. Oh, whatever. Those are pretty easy to do anyway. It doesn't really matter too much. Because, dang it. But I like how those look. I should have added those. I jumped ahead and jumped to conclusions. What is wrong with me? Oh well, what's done is done. We've spent enough time on this as it is. If you really want to make those light rings on your own, an easy way to go about doing that. Let's view the not the rulers. I want to actually view. I want to show the rulers. There we go. Smart guides. No? Why am I not seeing the lines? Did I get rid of them or something? That's a little strange. Huh. Well, go figure. Oh, that's why they were in the other. They were in the other documents. Gotcha. So, just a quick demonstration for those of you that don't know how to make those light rings. What I would go about doing is I would make an ellipse. like so. And then I would subtract from that ellipse, probably make it kind of small. Let's see how big that is. Okay. So I would probably, let's do, set the fill down to 0, hit the control semicolon and get rid of that. Let's see if we can do a gradient overlay, and let's see what we can change it to. Guess not. Never mind. Maybe we'll just do a color overlay, set that to a light color at color dodge. And then maybe that would be a little bit more yellow. And then you could do like an outer glow, inner glow, gradient overlay, outer glow, and then do that color dodge as well, and then just kind of do something like that. Put down the opacity, maybe cut off the range a little bit. So that's how I would have gone about doing the glow there. That's actually not bad looking. Wow, that's, considering how fast of a job that was, I'm thoroughly impressed with myself. Although I would probably slim this up just a little bit, and then take the entire thing. And personally, I would want this a little bit smaller, like so, just to get something like that. And then the other glow here, so it looks like it'd be kind of the same thing. How do I want to go about doing that? I might as well, since I'm at it, let's duplicate this ellipse real quick, and let's go to the inner ring here. Inner ring. Let me select just one, please. That'd be great. Come on. Oh my goodness. What the freak? There we go. Thank you, goodness. So let's do something like this. So I'll turn the inner ring like that, and then I'll trim it down so that it has that fading effect, and maybe I'll stretch it more that way. And then so let's turn off the color overlay there, and because I want this to be like a so turn that off too. I would want this to be more of a inner glow, I guess it would be. Actually, no. Let's see. Let's try a drop shadow, and we'll aim it that direction with that bright color, set to color dodge, and put the size up, put the distance up, and soften that up a lot. And something of the sort. Maybe we'll put the distance down a little bit. Oh, whoops. That's why. -45. Oh, yeah, that should be right. Oh my goodness. Computer's lagging. No wonder everything's being all ski-wampus. Just let me hit OK real quick. Why is it over that direction? I need to fix this. Maybe if I put it up here. Let's just see where this goes, huh? Huh. You know what? I'll just click and drag it around. Okay, so never mind. I forgot that that's extremely hard to do when it comes to Oh, wait a second. So if I were to move this up here, just up in that general direction, of course that little corner is a little a little bright, but that's okay. So if I move this to where you can't see the edge of the ellipse there, and then if we do a Control T, and then if we move this down this direction, whoa, maybe not. Okay, let's do this then. Can I just make a new layer and flatten this? Nope, doesn't work. So, change of plan. Let's just move the entire thing down to the right. Looks like I get a little bit of an edge there. So let's see where the original ellipse is. And I will put this over here. Okay, and go back to that drop shadow. Whoa, there we go. So move it even more up and to the left so we were not seeing that edge there. There we go. And what happens when I change the angle down over there? It seems like it's just all over the place. So nothing that I can really do. Oh, that's not too bad. Huh. Whoa, check that out. Look at that. So, not exactly what I was planning to do, but it looks cool, and that's all I care about is that it looks good. So, well then, I guess that right there is the official end of this little conceptual video / tutorial thingamabob. And so, let me know what you guys think of the end results, and let me know if you think it's kind of cheap that I didn't, if I didn't actually follow the original design, or if it really just doesn't matter at all to you. And just give me some feedback on whether or not you like how I do these particular tutorials, and just let me know what you think. Like the video if you enjoyed it, comments, and just give me ideas for future tutorials and things of the sort. And I'm pretty sure this is a really long video, so I better stop while I'm ahead so I have plenty of time to render. It's probably not going to be up till Wednesday. Oh crap. Oh well. So anyway, it's been fun messing with Photoshop with you guys. I will see you next week.